Hey, what's going on, everybody? In today's video, I just wanted to say it looks like the white boys got a little motion, okay? Culture is finally heading in the right direction because there was a blue state recently that convicted Karmelo Anthony of fatally stabbing Austin Metcalf at a track meet inside of his tent. If you don't know about the case, essentially, there was a boy, Karmelo, who walked into Austin's tent uninvited. He started smack talking Austin. Austin shoved him and said to get out of the tent, and Karmelo Anthony proceeded to stab Austin Metcalf in the heart, ultimately, unfortunately, killing him. Now, this incident did occur when they were both children, but at the end of the day, a life was taken, and so the penalty has to be extreme. Now, unfortunately, with a lot of the black activism in the inner blue city that this trial was taking place at, there were a lot of protesters outside of the court. And then when he finally got charged with murder and got 34 years in prison, which honestly, it should have been longer, but as someone on the right, I'll take what I can get because honestly, I'm surprised that he was not acquitted due to all of the scandals in that jury. I mean, they literally had to basically get rid of the entire first jury because they said, and I quote, "I cannot put a fellow brother in jail because he was black and they were black." That's literally what happened. And so now that he's been convicted, these people are just spurging in the street. They were screaming, they were crying, they were saying Black Lives Matter, this is an injustice, he was a good boy, you know, all of the typical meaningless activism slogans that you heard in the Black Lives Matter riots of 2020. But the reason why this is ultimately a good thing is because it does set a precedent. And that precedent is no matter how loud the activists get, no matter the amount of public pressure from Democrats, the crime has gotten so out of control in the blue states that now these courts have no choice but to finally punish perpetrators of crime. Now, of course, this has been building up for a long time. We had the case where Irina Zarutska, a Ukrainian immigrant, was fatally stabbed in the back by a literal crazed lunatic. I mean, he should have been in an asylum. He heard voices in his head. When he walked off the train after stabbing her, he said, "I finally got that white girl for what she did," and a bunch of other things like this. And the part about that case that rubbed everyone the wrong way was that guy had a track record like no other. He was known for assaulting and robbing people. But because the judges in the blue states were activist judges and they didn't want to send him to prison because it reinforced a kind of systemic racism or something, he was ultimately able to commit a murder due to their negligence. But now we can see that people are finally fed up with it. Even in the blue states, it seems like the people have finally decided that ideology and politics should not determine how long somebody gets convicted. That should primarily be dependent on the crime they committed. Now, a lot of people on the conservative side, they're pissed that he didn't get more years for cold-blooded murder. A bunch of people on the Democrat side are saying that the trial was too speedy and they didn't like that it was an all-white jury against a black man. But my response to that would be it's very typical and it makes sense and it's not really immoral in the slightest because we do live in a majority white country, so I would assume that if most people are white, most of the lawyers and juries are going to be white. That just kind of makes sense to me. Doesn't seem like something that's actively malicious going on here. And yeah, quite frankly, I'm just sort of disgusted mostly with some of the reactions online. There are a lot of leftist YouTubers and faceless accounts on X who are just blatantly saying that either A, he did kill him, but he should be let free anyway because he was a child, or B, just blatantly denying all of the evidence, all of the witnesses, and all of the sort of corroborating evidence that proves that it's definitely the case that he just stabbed him to death for no reason. Now, the reason this is happening is definitely because of racial tribalism and nothing else. No normal person who does not have a bias is going to look at somebody stabbing another person in the chest and saying that that person deserves leniency because they were 17 or they should be let go of. Although a part of me definitely thinks that the pushback is definitely exaggerated more on the online side of things. Because if you look at a lot of the donations to this guy's GoFundMe, which, might I add, it's disgusting that they even allow this person to have a GoFundMe. However, I will give them props for taking down the GoFundMe after he was convicted. And I kind of get it because until a person's convicted, I guess they haven't officially murdered somebody in the eyes of the law, if that makes sense. So, but my original point that I'm bringing up with this is just that all of the donations virtually, or a lot of them, certainly most of them are faceless They don't show any real names. And most of the people defending this guy rabidly are also no-name trolls on social media. And so there is a part of me that thinks that this trial is being amplified by nefarious actors in order to just soak racial division amongst the races. And so my general advice to people would be, don't let this consume you. He got charged with murder. Like Austin's dad said, it has nothing to do with race. And yeah, just keep in mind that there are nefarious actors at play here that want to see the West, they want to see America destroyed. Be aware of a lot of bot farms posting purposely inflammatory rhetoric that are based in India, China, and things like this, places that hate America. And just kind of take a breather. I mean, me personally, right now, I'm navigating through a lot of left-wing institutions in my life right now currently. And even when I'm passing by like black activist groups, I don't generally see a lot of popular support for Karmelo Anthony. And so I think it's very likely that this is not something that is seen much in the real world. But yeah, that's really all I have to say on the matter. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think I have this all wrong and this is actually a self-defense case gone wrong? Do you think that he should have gotten more years in prison? Or do you think that race plays a significantly less or even a significantly more instrumental role than I'm saying right now? But yeah, either way, please do leave a like and subscribe if you learned anything from this video or found it entertaining. Jesus loves you all and have a great day. I'll see you later.